as is planned. Should be no travel issues for NXT. Of course, everyone, I believe, lives in Florida. It makes sense to live in Florida if you're at NXT. What with all the shows being there, the house shows being there, training being there. Be pretty wild if you had to fly in every day. So we shouldn't be impacted by any travel issues. I do have a little breakdown of a card. So a new challenger is needed for the NXT Championship. The NXT Women's Tag Titles are also going to be on the line tonight. And it says there's a bunch of must-see matchups straight across the board. So we have got Alba Fire and Isla Dawn taking on Fallon Henley and Kiana James. We've got Tiffany Stratton taking on Sol Ruka. We've also got something to do with Cora Jade. I'm guessing we're going to be hearing from her. She returned, obviously, last week. We've also got a fatal four-way. We only know 2 people that are in it so far. That's Dragon Lee and JD McDonough. We're still waiting to find out the other 2 people in it that's going to be competing to win the chance to face Carmelo. I would think that Braun would be involved in that. I mean, obviously, he turned heel last week. That was kind of a big thing. There was a few decent-sized things that happened last week on NXT. And as we said, probably the most notable was that Braun turned heel. And, of course, Indi Hartwell managed to retain her championship. But we've also got, it said, after the standout performance of Duke Hudson, we're going to be honoring Duke Hudson tonight. He gets his MVP award, so we've got that to look forward to. We've got Ilya Dragunov going one-on-one against Von Wagner, so we've got that tonight as well. So there's quite a bit that's going down, so should be a decent show. Anything that's going to involve Chase U is definitely going to have my interest. So I am interested in that. Dragunov's amazing to watch. Women's tag title match, lovely. Cora Jade, great. New number 1 contender being crowned. Thank you. Looks all right to me. Looks all right. Bron Breakker and Johnny Gargano or Grayson Waller could be in that fatal 4-way, said Dysfunction. Aubrey Edwards said Thea Hale. All hail Thea. I still need to look for that signed card. Definitely want to get one of those. Add them to my collection. I've got quite a nice signed wrestling card collection. So definitely want to grab one of those Thea Hale ones. So I need to look out for that. Days, this Sunday, I'm going to Mega Slam Wrestling. It's an indie show that only goes to America and UK, and it's finally coming to Ireland. It's going to be my 5th indie show. Evan, have a great time, buds. That's great. Going and seeing live wrestling is so special, so exciting. So you'll have a great time there. So I don't know anyone at Mega Slam Wrestling, to be honest, but I'm sure they'll put on a great show. So I'm sure they've got plenty of future stars. So have fun. James said Sol Ruka is a future star. Very much so. I love her mentality. I love the fact that she's always trying to improve. I mean, that might not be the case, but that's certainly the narrative that they're getting out there, you know. She's someone that's constantly learning little tricks, constantly trying to learn things, constantly wanting to get better. That mentality is going to hold her in really good stead. She's got that finishing move, the Soul Snatcher as well, which, I mean, if you've got a killer move like that, that's going to really massively help you to stand out. Anything that can make you stand out from the pack, anything that can help you achieve that is like gold, because there's so many wrestlers, so many women that are doing, you know, largely the same thing. You know, wrestling styles can vary, but what we see in WWE, certainly in the women's division, is a lot of very similar styles. They're all trained like the same way. So to have something that can separate you from the pack, critical. And, you know, good looking girl. I think she's I don't know how old she is, actually. I was going to say, I don't think she's all that old. I don't think she's super young. She's not like Roxanne Perez. But she was born in 99. So that would make her, what, 24? 24? 23. She's 24 in August. So she's 23. Actually, she's younger than I thought. She's younger than I thought. I actually thought she was like mid to late 20s. If I was to guess, I would have said 27 for Sol Ruka, but she's actually 23. Damn, man. Damn. 24. She's got a bright future. I agree. WrestleBuzz, shout out to you, my friends. WrestleBuzz said, hey, Daze, not been around for the past few weeks, spending some time with the family. It's always a good decision. Hope all is well, and I'm excited for the stream tonight. WrestleBuzz, shout out to you, my friends. Appreciate the support. Listen, if you're going to spend time with the family, that's a great decision. So welcome back. It's past few weeks been really good. I would say wrestling's in a real good spot at the moment. I feel like all of the shows are like I'm going into them with optimism. So I would say that last week's Raw we went into with optimism because of it being the Raw after WrestleMania. It did underwhelm. But obviously there was a lot of talk about Vince and there was just a lot of talk, right? And then like obviously this week we thought, well, there's no Vince, so this should be a better show. But now we've just been smashed with the travel issues. So that means that next week's Raw, where there shouldn't be Vince, we shouldn't have travel issues. We should hopefully just get the show that we're meant to get for the first time in weeks. No late changes. No travel disruptions. So I'm going to look forward to next week's Raw. Obviously, Friday, looking forward to because you've got Bloodline. I just don't know what we're doing with Bray. I don't know what we're doing with Bray. I don't know when Bray's coming back. I don't know what the plan is, but he is a SmackDown star. So could it be that we don't see anything until the draft? Could it be that we're just going to wait for the draft until we do something with Bray? Or could we see him on Friday and start doing something? I mean, honestly, I genuinely don't know. At this point, you might wait for the draft, to be honest. But I'm still looking forward to Friday. AEW have obviously got big shows to build towards, so they can't afford to mess around. AEW needs to be hot now, like red hot now, if they're going to sell Wembley out or even get close. Even to try and do like 60,000 tickets, you know? I mean, that's still going to be such an ask. Such an ask. So they need to be hot. They need to go all in on these shows and really get some momentum. So really look forward to Wednesdays. I suppose NXT is just doing its thing and it's chugging along. But as we said, there's enough there to get excited about. So I'd say it's a good time. Jojo said Bray will be gone until Backlash. Rare Breed said NXT is the most consistent of all of the wrestling shows. Tim, shout out to you, said it's Tuesday night. You know what that means. Wonder what made Braun turn on Hayes, says Kieran. Well, I mean, hopefully we get an answer on that. Maybe it's just a bit of jealousy. Maybe it's just a little bit of, you know, he's been at the top for so long and now someone's come and replaced him, beat him, and he just can't cope with it, maybe. So, I don't know. It'll be interesting. See what his motivation is. Turning Braun was the right way to go, said Aubrey Edwards. He was starting to get boos regular. I do agree with that. I think turning Braun, I agree, was a good thing to do. He was definitely polarizing. And we saw something similar with Roman on the main roster, where Roman was getting booed as a face. And, you know, I mean, they stuck with it because he was still selling merch and he still had a sizable part of the universe that enjoyed watching him as a face. And it's a bit harder when you're that exposed to make a call like that. But down in NXT, where everything's just less, there's less viewers, less, you know, you've got a bit more room to do what you want. I think the audience are a bit more forgiving as well in NXT. I think with NXT, there is always that little caveat of this is developmental. So, like, you do have to kind of remind yourself of that. I have to remind myself of that. This is developmental, so there's always just that little bit more wiggle room. So he was getting booze and whatever, and so I agree it was the best thing to turn him, because let's see what he can do as a heel. I think he's going to be better suited as a heel, to be honest. I really do. I mean, like, I've never been able to really get into Braun as a face, and I've said that many times. I just don't feel it. I just don't feel a connection to him. Maybe now with him just not, the brakes are off, and he could now just be like this monster heel. Like, might be really fun. So I agree. I'm excited. Someone left a ton of diet sodas outside of a grocery store last night. I'm not a diet guy, but I will drink them, says Tim. I don't know that I would be drinking a load of diet sodas that someone left outside. We're very different people, you and me, Tim. Very different people. Thomas said Raw did 1.8 down from 2.2. Yeah, it was always coming down. 1.8 is not bad. 1.8 is their average. Don't forget, 2.2 is Raw after WrestleMania numbers. People were always going to tune in, because I think that Raw after WrestleMania has got a reputation. I think Raw after WrestleMania definitely was underwhelming. You could maybe make an argument that had that show have been stronger, they might have kept more people around. It just seems like they've returned to their usual number there, to be honest. So 1.8 is what we normally see from Raw. Monday Nitro debut episode, September 95, less than a year later, June 96, 83 weeks started, said Outlaw Angel. Shout out to you, said, did you know that Roman asked to change his theme to Undertaker's previous one? Keep rolling. Very good. I think Austin has heard that, because I think that's why Austin still refers to him as Roland. We're never letting that go. Because he's never going to let go the 1,000-day thing. So. Why does SmackDown get better ratings than Raw? I think there's a few reasons. I think one of them is to do with the network. I think Fox probably, in general, attracts higher views than USA Network. Might be to do with how many homes it's in. So I don't know how that works in America. I don't know how many homes have got USA Network versus how many homes have got Fox. But I've always felt Fox the bigger network. And then also I think, like, even if that wasn't the case, I think the show that is the home of Roman and is where you can find the bloodline, and it's the show they've put Bray on as well. And I'm not saying that Bray massively moves the dial in regards to ratings, but I certainly don't think he hurts either. So I think there's a few factors. I think it's a shorter show. It's an easier show to watch. I think by and large, Raw, because it's been around since 93 and has been 3 hours for quite a long time now, I think it's built up a bit of a reputation of being a bit of a sports entertainment show. I think if you used to ask people which brand is the sports entertainment brand in WWE, which one is a bit more sporty, which one is a bit more athletic, I think most people would agree and say that traditionally Raw is the sports entertainment show, SmackDown is the sporty athletic show. And that's because, you go back to when the brand split first happened and you had like Paul Heyman being a writer for SmackDown, and some of the content that SmackDown was putting out was just so good. It was kind of the show where people were wrestling, and it was, if you're really into professional wrestling, SmackDown was your show. If you was into more sports entertainment, then Raw was your show. And I suppose in a way that's come out of the brand split and everything. So, there's a little bit of a stigma that's kind of been held over as well. So I think there's quite a few factors. I don't know that it's as easy as going, it's this one thing. I think it's reputation. I think it's roster. I think it's network. I think there's quite a few things that have gone into it. Trini said SmackDown is 2 hours. It's easier to watch. 3 hours is hard to book. SmackDown is 2, and that is easier to book, said James. 3 hours is tougher, says Jojo. Thomas said, should ITV show AEW live rather than 2 days later? They can't. They don't have an agreement to do that. My understanding is that agreement is with Fight TV. So the agreement that ITV have got is to show the replay. And to be honest, I mean, it probably works better for ITV because if you want to show it live, I would imagine that's probably, you're going to pay top dollar for that. You know, to have the show beamed to your channel live is probably, you know, the most expensive thing to do. But to show a recording of it, a taping of it, like a few days later, like not only is that going to be cheaper, because really the wrestling fans that are really into the show, they will have watched it live already. So you've got to think that's hurting ratings. You know, you'll get more ratings if you was live, but it'll be cheaper to show it a couple of days later. And it'll be cheaper to not have to have it beamed over live. And it's cheaper to show a tape. So, and also, it's a lot more flexible because if you do it live, you have to do it when it's on. If you show the tape, you can choose whatever time you want. If you want to put it on lunchtime on a Saturday, put it on lunchtime on a Saturday. If you want to put it lunchtime on a Sunday, if you want to put it on Sunday night, if you want to do whatever with it, you know, you can do whatever. So I don't think ITV having it live is all that important, to be honest, because don't forget, here in the UK, live is 1 o'clock in the morning. So people here in the UK have got work, they've got school, people staying up till 1, watching the show till 3 in the morning, got to be up at 6 or 7 to get up to school. Like, I don't know how many people would do that. So I don't think showing it live is that critical. But you could maybe make the argument that they could show the replay at a better time. Because I think the replay is on at like 11 o'clock at night on ITV3, ITV1, I think it is. Why don't they show it at like 1 o'clock on a Saturday? Like midday? Why don't they show it at that time slot on a Sunday? I don't know what's on at those times, so there could be a good reason for it. But that would be amazing exposure for AEW. You know, put it on at like when the kids are up. And the kids are around, because you got to think the kids, if they see that, maybe you can't because of the blood, though. Maybe this is where the blood becomes a problem. Perhaps like because of what the product is, you have to show it after 9. And the problem is, if you show it after 9, well, all of a sudden you're competing against the big shows, aren't you? Because any show that has to be shown after 9, you know, you're up against them. Well, you ain't going to win that battle because there's some massive shows that are shown in the UK, of course, that are on after 9 o'clock. Certainly on ITV1, that's like our second or third biggest channel in the country. You've got Channel 4, which is massive, BBC One, of course, and then ITV, which is Channel 3. So I actually don't know. I think I read Channel 4 was our biggest channel. That's the channel that's got like the Great British Bake Off. That used to be on BBC, but it got bought by Channel 4, and so it's on Channel 4 now. It's where IT Crowd was shown, Channel 4. Father Ted on Channel 4. Friends reruns and Frasier reruns. Simpsons. All of that lives on Channel 4. BBC tend to make their own shows, which, you know, you will see on like BBC Atlantic or whatever in America. Doctor Who and all that kind of stuff. And then ITV. I find ITV a bit of a strange channel, to be honest. It's a bit of a strange channel. It's got some good stuff on it, but don't know. I can't quite figure out what its identity is. I know what BBC is, and I know what Channel 4 is, and ITV just, I don't know, it's a bit of a mixed bag. So yeah, ITV, it's one of our biggest channels, but maybe they would be better served to go PG, and then maybe that would give ITV more flexibility. AEW doesn't have a big enough star to sell out a 70,000 stadium, said T-Dog27. ITV3, when I left the UK, it was 4 main channels and Sky, and it's only been a few years, said Ian. Yeah, there's loads. I mean, you've got BBC 3, BBC 4. You've got, is there a BBC 4? I don't even know anymore. You've got ITV3, ITV4, definitely know that. ITVB as well, which is its own channel, which I think does just reality show stuff and all that kind of nonsense. There's loads and loads of channels now. And then what with like smart TVs and built-in streaming platforms and all that kind of stuff. I was upstairs in my room, and I actually don't have an aerial in my room. So I have to do everything over the internet, like Netflix and all of that on my TV. Really, I bought the TV for my room because I just wanted to go up there, just watch, a little bit of, say, Amazon Prime, maybe plug a DVD player in. It's literally just, I don't spend that much time in my room because I'm always doing stuff. So for me, it was just a case of if I want to watch the WWE Network for half an hour, if I want to watch a episode of Frasier or something like that. I managed to get Sky News. I can get Sky News, which we can't even get down here. For some reason, the channel keeps flickering, but up in my room, I can get Sky News. And it's lovely and crystal clear and everything. And it's an app, and you can click on it and watch it live. And for some reason, they don't charge for it. Sky News, it's just its own thing. So there's loads of channels, loads of different ways to watch them. But it's undeniable that AEW being on ITV, the Channel 3, is very good for them. But I think the time slot could be better. Have you got TV license? I got TV license, yeah. The house covers it. Thomas said, an important question. What if it rains at Wembley for pitch side seats? Well, I mean, that would be a concern, but obviously we're doing it in the summer. So it's August the something. I mean, what I would say is that we have good summers now. I don't remember summers being as good as what they are now. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like climate change or whatever means that our summers now are like, every year I feel like the news is talking about record-breaking days. And our summers tend to be quite, like, sweltering. Like, literally, you're out in the garden topping up your tan, you can get burnt kind of a situation. So the idea that it rains all the time in the UK, I would say is certainly true for the months outside of summer. And you might even get a light sprinkling during summer. But to be honest, at the time they're coming, I wouldn't be too worried about that. I wouldn't be too worried about that in August. I think it'd be fine. And even if it did rain, it's probably just going to be a light shower at that time. There is a roof, but I don't believe it fully closes for Wembley. It's only partially closes, which I never quite understood. When you want to upgrade or add something to a car, like, you want to get the alloy wheels or something. I think Wembley decided they didn't want to, like, totally go for the full roof. So they decided to go for the partial roof, save a bit of money. So, they should be fine. They should be fine. Their bigger problem is going to be filling the place. Edward said, 1 year, yes, hello from Wales. I have been travelling all day. Edward, shout out to you. Which part of Wales are you in, Edwards? Where are you? Where are you? They've got WrestleMania in Philly. There could be snow and cold. I hope it's in an arena, says Heavy Chevy. Tony Khan should get Davey Boy Jr. for the show, said Xtastic. That would be a good sign-in. I mean, I don't think that people would buy tickets to see him, but it would be a nice moment. Unfortunately, he's not really been on the radar for a while. I believe he's in MLW, doing stuff with MLW, which is, cool, but I don't think Davey Boy Smith Jr. is going to really be selling many tickets. But lovely moment, I agree. I mean, Wembley Stadium, WWE have not been there since 92. So, him against Bret Hart. It is a different stadium now. It is worth mentioning. They did knock it down, the old stadium, and completely rebuilt a new one. It's on the exact same site, though, but it is a different stadium. So, if you see it, it's bigger. It's bigger. It's a bigger stadium. It's, I think, a bit more compact and everything. No, the old stadium used to be quite it could hold about 80,000, and it was quite sprawling. Whereas this one's feels a bit more tighter, bit grander. Definitely feels like, it could host NFL. Well, I think it has hosted NFL games, saying that. So, yeah, it's a more modern stadium now. 90,000 though. People did point out, though, that if you have a big stage, like, you might be able to get away with knocking that down to more around about 60 odd. Like, if you can get 60 in there with a big stage, it's going to look good. So, 60,000 would look good. 50,000, I think you'd definitely be seeing empty seats at that point. But if they're just like up in the heavens, that won't look too bad. So, I don't know. It's difficult, isn't it? You look at 90 and you think to yourself, like, oh, what would be acceptable? It's hard to know because I don't know what the break-even number is. I don't know what the number is for them to make their money back, and for it to be a worthwhile venture. But I've said I love his ambition. I'm near Abergavenny. Okay, I actually don't know where that is, but interesting. Daze, you should do a poll to see where current viewers are watching from. We can do that. Why not? But why not? We can do that. We can do anything. We're young and carefree. That could be quite interesting. Do you know, I never look at my analytics. Ever. It's a really bad thing. I should be in there looking, and I don't know that it would change anything, though, so that's why I never bother. But, so I actually don't know where the percentage of people are watching from. So, where are you watching from? So, let's go UK. Let's go US. I've got to think Canada is probably our next one. And then we'll go other. No, there's a few people that join us from Australia. Let's have a look. We'll see. I agree. That could be interesting. Shame it's not a bigger stream, though. In all fairness, probably if this was Raw, we could get a really interesting kind of read as to where people are joining us from. So we'll have a look. Jeremy said, I clicked over to my NordVPN, and the first thing I saw was 7 BT Sport channels. They do have a lot of BT Sport channels, yes. They have a lot of Sky Sports channels as well. Wrestling tends to be on. Well, I'm literally got BT Sport 1 on right now, and it's last week's NXT, which is normally the case in all fairness. Before like this week's Raw, they tend to show last week's Raw. Before this week's SmackDown, they show last week's SmackDown. Right now, they're showing last week's NXT. And as we said, this week's NXT will be starting in about 15 minutes. Ecstatic says, beautiful 70-degree evening here on the east coast of USA. Well, we were just having a little look around. I believe the east coast of the USA. We were in New Hampshire, Portsmouth, having a little look around there. Having a great time over on the wrestling. I want to take that Wrestling Escape Pod episode we just did, because we do live on a Tuesday. And I want to try and keep it that way because actually the internet has been great recently. But I want to take that and I want to get just the best bits of what we just managed to do, because I thought some of that was just absolutely brilliant. I really enjoyed myself. So we'll definitely try and get a little separate video out with that. But people putting in where they are watching from. Yeah, get in your thoughts. Sterling is from Birmingham, England. Shout out to Birmingham. Where I've lived, it's where I've worked, it's where my family are from. So nothing but love for Birmingham. AB is in New York. Thomas said, I heard someone contacted Ticketmaster, found the prices will be $30 to $500 for front row. That's good. Can't argue with them prices. $500 for front row for a show of that size. It's good. I mean, in all fairness, I didn't expect the tickets to be super expensive because they do not want to be, turning people away. But like, You got to say 30 quid, which is going to be what, about $35? I mean, like, oh, you always just put a little more on. Whatever it is in pounds, tend to put on a little bit extra, you know? So 30 quid is about 35 bucks. It's not a bad ticket price, is it? To like get in and go to Wembley, see the stars you're going to be seeing, just be a part of that atmosphere. Because even if there's only like 10,000 in there, you know, as long as you're not all spaced out, and I doubt you would be, they'd probably just keep you all really close to the ring. I'd imagine the atmosphere is going to be good. Like being like amongst, if you're a diehard AEW fan, meeting up with other diehard AEW fans, I bet that would be good. So yeah, it should be a really good show. I'm looking forward to doing the watch along for it. Luke said WWE prices are ridiculous for Money in the Bank. Heavy Chevy said 30 would be for the nosebleeds. Oh, yeah, I'm sure it'd be right up in the heavens, but you still get in there for 30 quid. I mean, listen, that card's going to be stacked. I think, I mean, I'm expecting it to not just be the AEW roster. I mean, I'm thinking this is a great opportunity you got to sell out Wembley. So literally you need the biggest stars that are not with WWE, in my opinion, in my mind. You need the biggest stars and legends. If you can get Bret Hart, if you can get Goldberg, if you can get Okada, if you can get Mercedes Moné, like if you can get CM Punk, if you can get AJ Lee, if you can get Jordan Grace, if you can get, I don't even know who's in Matt Cardona, or I don't know, whoever. Who's who? Vikingo. Get Vikingo, like whoever you can get your hands on that is a big name that's not with WWE right now. Get them. Get them at that show. Make sure they're free. And they're going to want to be there. You can't tell me Mercedes Moné isn't interested in doing the Wembley show. Of course she is. She's got to be. What wrestler would not want to be on that card? Don't understand. Like, if I'm Mercedes Moné, I'm definitely want to be there. You know, you're not with WWE and you've got an opportunity to... I mean, what other opportunities in the world outside of WWE are you going to have where you can play a 90,000 stadium? I mean, to my knowledge, AAA, CMLL are not doing that. We know that the biggest show that New Japan do is Tokyo Dome. Tokyo Dome, I think, is it 60,000 for Tokyo Dome? Let's have a little look. Tokyo Dome. 55,000 Tokyo Dome. So, you know, this is this is bigger. Simple as that. It's bigger. I mean, granted, they might not sell it out. But, yeah, I've got to think anyone that's outside of WWE would want to be on that show. We definitely need to build a Sting Darby Allin feud, said Thomas. Johnny said, AEW always puts on good pay-per-views. I'm guessing this will be even better. UFC fighter, you're saying best of the show. Brett's contracted to WWE. He might be, actually. Yeah, he could be under a Legends deal. I know they did have him because he revealed the AEW belt. He was the one that I believe brought it down, like in 2019. But yeah, you're probably right. I actually don't know who's under Legends deals at the moment. Never see him on TV though, do we? In all fairness, like when we did Raw 30, he wasn't on that show. I can't even remember the last time that he was on like a WWE show. So never. Oh well, we did see him at Clash at the Castle. In truth, we did see him at Clash at the Castle. He was sat in the crowd, wasn't he? So they did show him in the crowd for that. But outside of that, just never see him. Never see him. It's a shame. I'd imagine that's more to do with him than them. I would imagine they would want to use him more. But I think he's probably got to that point in his life now where he's like, I can't be bothered. Quite happy staying at home, thanks. Annette said, I'm in Wrexham. I bet Wrexham's bouncing after that penalty save. That's everywhere from Ben Foster. Speaking of money, I don't like her finisher. I saw it at a press conference she did the other day. It looked messy. She kind of flips them off her back. No shade. Just wish she had a better one, said Aubrey Edwards. I don't know what it's called. She does like hook the arms, they're face up on her back, and then she like flips them over, doesn't she? I mean, she did it when she first came in at Wrestle Kingdom, and it didn't go very well. And people were like going, "Oh, she botched it," blah 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 blah. And then she did it during the match. It looked better. But I agree, it's still not one that like blows my mind. But people have been very impressed with her match quality. People have seemingly really enjoyed what she's been doing. So, like outside of WWE in her past few matches, because she's had a couple of matches now. She had a match the other day. Now that Goldberg is gone, maybe we'll see more of Brett. Who do you think is the best and the worst commentator in the business today? Well, everyone knows my least favorite commentator, who doesn't commentate anymore, so that's good. I mean, honestly, I think Michael Cole's so underrated. I think Michael Cole is so underrated. I think that he's unfortunate in that he gets blamed for doing what he is told to do. So people are like, oh, I really don't like him because he's constantly like pushing other things or coming out with certain terms or whatever it might be, whatever criticism they've got. Michael Cole's just not a cool person either, is he? Do you know what I mean? He's not a cool commentator. He doesn't strike you as a cool guy. So I think like it's easy to sort of hate on him. But I think a lot of the things that he has to say and a lot of the things that he is told to promote is literally stuff he's been told to promote in his ear. But I think I've said before, I think if you're judging a commentator, I think it's really important that when they are enthused, when they're really like, you know, in those big dramatic moments, like, have they got the gravitas in their voice, right? You don't want someone being all high-pitched and squeaky and it's just not enjoyable to listen to. But have they got a depth to their voice? And also, are they clear? Can you hear what they're saying as they're talking? So that you can like clearly hear those moments, because those punchy moments, those enthused moments are so important. You know, everyone quotes like JR's, he's got a family, damn it. As God as my witness, he's broken in half. You know, all those kind of quotes. He wasn't just sat there saying that, was he? I mean, he was like ramping up the enthusiasm, and he was enthused, and that was carrying in his voice. So for him to deliver those sort of lines, great lines, clear lines, enthused in that moment, like that to me is how you judge like a good commentator. In those, there's lots of other ways of judging as well. Like, you know, what they're saying, how they're saying it. It's pretty straightforward. But I think that for me, one of the most important things is in those moments. And I think Michael Cole is so good at that. In those moments, he is so good. I saw a video of him from WrestleMania where he is literally, I don't know if you saw it, but the camera is down at the side. And he is like, 1D, no kicked out of the 1D. Oh my God. It's really like getting it across, and it's like that is goated stuff. 1D. You can hear it in his voice, man. It's so good. I really like him. I think he's one of those that I think will be really missed when he's gone, because I don't think he's going to be easy to replace. I don't think he's going to be easy to replace at all, because there's no one that you look at that's like chomping at his heels. You know, there's no one. They've tried. Obviously, Kevin Patrick's not working. You can all see that that's not working. That's not a long-term solution. I wouldn't be surprised if they move him off commentary during the draft. But you do look and like, I don't know, man. I don't see that next lead commentator coming through that can take over. I like Vic Joseph. I like what we've got down in NXT. I'm not a big fan of Booker on commentary. But yeah, I like Nigel McGuinness. I thought Nigel McGuinness was pretty good. I like Taz. I think Taz can do some fun stuff. I actually like the Taz Excalibur kind of combo on Dark and Elevation when it's a bit more relaxed. I kind of like that. I think they work well there. I'm not a massive fan of Excalibur's commentary, but I do like him calling out the moves. I just don't think he needs to call them all out. But his knowledge of wrestling is so impressive. I mean, someone does something and he's just like, it's a reverse inverted hurricane or whatever it might be. And you're like, I don't even know I've seen that move. I don't think I've ever seen that move, let alone actually know what it's called. Like when you live the indie wrestling life, you know, your knowledge of all the moves and everything is very impressive. So I know that like Jim Cornette gives him a tough time for doing that. And I do agree. I think the average person doesn't care. I think the average person just wants the story and the emotion of the match. And don't necessarily want you to go, that's the Uma Plata inverted 7K twist. Like, I don't think people, because it doesn't mean anything, does it? No one's going to remember that you've just said that. And like them like knowing that information's not gonna do much for them. So I kind of feel like I appreciate it and I like it, but I think he could probably dial that down a little bit and really focus on the narrative of the story a little bit more over the names of the moves. But I do like him sprinkling in the names of the moves. That's something I would like to see WWE do just a little more of. Just a little bit more of. You get it with like, you know, swanton bombs and shooting star presses, moonsaults, things along those lines. But sometimes you do see some elaborate submission moves, which I wish like I'd love them to give me the names of some of those. So I appreciate Excalibur. I think Excalibur does some good stuff, but I think could be a bit more refined. I really like Taz. I think Taz is good. Ian Riccaboni is someone that always gets mentioned as being like goated. But to be honest, I mean, I don't watch Ring of Honor, so I can't say. But he is that's definitely a name that I hear a lot. Kevin Patrick's fine, said Sean. He doesn't. I mean, I don't rate him. I don't think he's very good. I don't think he's very clear. I think that when he gets infused, as we said, it doesn't feel natural or comfortable to me. I don't think it's the accent. I don't think the accent's the problem. I think like the gravitas of his voice just doesn't really work for commentary for me. But yeah, seemingly that's one that people just haven't took to. There's whenever you talk about commentary, that's a name that comes up quite a bit. No hate, but Excalibur is kind of mid, said Hagen-Dazs. I live right by the stadium in Wrexham, and it was so loud on Monday. Ryan Reynolds has just bought a house. Probably not a good investment to buy a house by a stadium, but in all fairness, you know, if you're going to stay there as much as what he is, it's probably not the worst idea either. Lots of US and UK viewers. Yeah, let's have a little look. So 27% of people from the UK, 58% of people from the US, only 4% from Canada, 10% from the rest of the world. So yeah, I mean, I do normally feel like I'm speaking largely to people in the UK and the US. It seems to be that way. I like Vince with King back in the day. Vince knew how to promote his product. Okay, right. We are up and running. We are live. NXT is go. Go, go, go. NXT go, said Brandon. NXT is live, said Jojo. But phone just crashed on me, but never mind. It's time for some wrestling, said Tim. Who else is from Telford? Jay Swingler. He is from Telford. Loopy Girl said, I like Taz and Excalibur. I agree. I think Thing is rubbish. Tony Schiavone just never adds anything, does he? He really doesn't. He's like, wow, guys, this is quite the match. But even when he says it, he's like, wow, guys, this is quite the match. I mean, literally with that level of enthusiasm. Wow, this is a doozy. That is about as good as his commentary gets. He doesn't really tell you much about the competitors. He doesn't really tell you much about the moves. It really feels like he's just checked out. Jonathan Coachman was underrated, said Outlaw Angel. I'm in Lanzarote, but live in the UK, says Kyle. Kyle, shout out to you. Right. Let's go. Let's go. NXT, we're just seeing the turn from last week with Braun Breaker. So Braun and Carmelo. And then bang, turns on him. Why didn't Trick do anything? Just stood there and got attacked. As soon as he goes after Carmelo, like there should have been an opportunity for Trick to have gone after Braun. But he was too slow on the trigger and he got beat up as well. Right, here's Carmelo. Here is Carmelo. Do you know what would be really cool? Imagine if we did a special show where we went to Full Sail. Imagine that. Imagine if we did, like, in your house there or something. Or NXT Homecoming. And every year, once a year, we go back to Full Sail. Oh my God, that'd be so flipping good. That'd be so good. NXT Homecoming. It's time to go home. Get your tickets now. NXT will be live, Full Sail. Right, Carmelo and Trick in the ring. Melo. We need to address what happened last week. From everything about us was meant to be about respect. Won't happen again. It won't happen again. Defeat is cold. I get it. I've been there. You didn't pass me anything. I took it. Yeah, I love it. If you think raising my hand at the end of that match is passing the torch, you're wrong. You didn't pass anything. I took it. Ooh. These people, they don't want you to be number one. They want Melo. Melo. Good. Where's he looking? Oh, I was going to say, where's he looking? He's looking at a camera that we weren't on. I'm going to offer you a spot in that fatal four-way. I'm going to flex my champion's privilege. Who's this? Dragon Lee. I still don't know his entrance music. Dragon Lee coming out. what I love about AEW is they don't have DQs. It's ref discretion. I would love WWE to do what Ring of Honor did and number the champs. Jinder is the only one ever mentioned because he was 50. Yeah, that's a good chat, actually. Numbering the champs would be good. Puts his hand out, wants to shake Melo's hands. Dragon Lee in there with Wesley. Melo. I understand you want revenge. This title around your waist says that you are the best. What do you think about the belt? Do you think we need to change it? Still got the colours from NXT 2.0, which I don't mind, actually, but don't know. Don't know if it needs to be changed. Sort of split on it. Yeah, I think we do. It's kind of ironic, though, because there's a lot of luxury watches and things like that that have started to, over the past few years, have like multicolored dials and all this kind of stuff. So in a way, it's kind of on trend. Okay, so Dragon Lee has come out. Here's JD Manamana. JD Manamana coming out. Hello, Melo. You've got to keep your head on a swivel if you're the champ round here. Hello, Melo. Dragon Lee's nuts, said Kyle. They've been a team for close to 2 years. He can't be a sidekick forever. Who? Trick. Bout it, bout it. Does he even say that anymore? Bout it, bout it. JD getting in the ring. There's going to be an 8-minute overtime tonight, said Outlaw. As long as Grayson Waller doesn't turn up for NXT Fatal 4 way and he gets called up, I think he's my favorite, you know. I think Grayson's my... I really like Elia. Oh. Might be Elia, then Grayson. I don't know who my top 3 would be. Maybe Carmelo third in the guys. I don't know. Tricky. It's not JD. Haven't seen enough for Dragon Lee. It's not Braun. Here's Grayson. Damn it. Well. Damn it. Here's Grayson Waller. I want him to go up in the draft. Loud boos for Grayson. Loud boos for Grayson. You guys are dumber than you look. This audience and you are El Stupido. A real superstar will take that championship from you. It's just, the show just got more interesting when Grayson came out. Felt like it was in a slumber. Like, I was falling asleep as JD was talking. As soon as Grayson comes out, it's just got something about him that just makes me want to listen. Might be his bright shirt. There we go. End of the segment. Hayden, shout out to you, buds. Hope you're well. Fatal 4-way. So Grayson's in there, is he? There's Kiana James. Okay, so we got Kiana James, got Fallon Henley. Fallon says, we're up next. Are we ready? Kiana's not happy at the fact that Fallon tried to ruin her relationship. They're arguing. Brooks isn't around. Daze, I've been supporter for 20 months now. That is an amazing achievement, Hayden. Hayden, shout out to you, buds. That is very, very cool. Very, very cool. That means you're 8 months better than Edward Brown. When is Trick going to turn on Carmelo? Don't know, man. It's been a long time, innit? It's been a long time. They've got a program that's going to focus on the Iron Sheik coming up this weekend, I think, which is cool. And then we've got a rivalry show that's going to focus on Hogan and Rowdy Roddy Piper, which is also cool. So actually, this weekend's shows on A&E look really good. So, yeah, very good. Jealous. Kyle said, I think Grayson needs a kayfabe girlfriend called Black Daughter Rufa. Jack said, I just had a 32-year-old hit me up. Very nice. Bill from the shop says, getting 16 grand a year, 2 fish fingers, alphabet spaghetti, a wife that cooks, and a life worth living. Ha, ha, ha. Okay, I have no idea what's going on. Coach Co said, I think if ever you don't know what's going on, reading a Koji Co comment is probably not the next best thing to go to, but let's give it a go. A loyal companion through thick and fog, a furry friend we call a dog, always by our side, never a slog, bringing joy to our lives like a cozy log. Yeah, I like these are lyrics from a song, but I have no idea what song. Might be a poetry, I don't know. I don't know what Coach Co's turned to now. Coach Co for years, dropping facts. Now dropping verse. Alex said, have you ever thought about having a big cartel shop online where you make personalized shirts, cups, etc.? Also, have you ever thought about selling autographed pictures of yourself? No and no. I mean, to be honest, no. It's, no. I think there's a lot of YouTubers that sell shirts and all of that. And we did do it for a little bit, like years and years and years ago. But I don't know. I don't know. No. I never get asked for it. So I don't think there's a demand for it. And why would there be? So it's never crossed my mind. Inside Out and Again said Hulk Hogan should come out with a show called Everyone Hates Hogan. Paul said, how much do you want to make a bet that Kiana James is with Briggs on the low? Oh, I didn't consider that, Paul. I like that. I did not consider that. I like it. Yeah, I think there's definitely a chance there. Kappa said, how are you doing? Keep hitting that snooze. It's 8:14 over here. 8:14 in Miami. So you're 5 hours behind. Yeah, that would make sense. 1:16 here. So, yeah, 1:15 in the morning in the UK. No need for no snooze buttons. We are wide awake and ready for whatever NXT is about to serve up. I thought that open was a bit paint by numbers, bit so-so. Not really the most exciting thing in the world. But let's see where we go from there. I think it's Fallon Henley, isn't it? I think it should be the women's tag match. TikTok, here's Sol Ruka. Okay, so they're doing something in the parking lot, which is very dangerous. Is that Nikita? No. Tiffany. You're making TikToks in my parking lot. You never asked for... This is my space. Okay. Okay, that was rubbish. Nothing, literally nothing happened. She put her on her shoulders, and then Tiffany arrived and went, "Oh, I didn't give you permission to be in my space." And they were like, "All right." She walked off, and then they were like, I don't know what they said. Didn't do anything. Normally, when you get to see something from Sol Ruka, like, you expect there to be something impressive. On NXT. Right. Isla Dawn and Alba Fire taking on Kiana and Alan. Tiffany looks fire, said Rare Breeds. I don't usually stay up to watch NXT. How long does it run for, said Cody. It's on for a couple of hours, so it'll be on for another hour and 40 minutes. Hour and 40 minutes. Big Time said, I thought most Wrestling Daze fans were from the UK. I'm surprised, but great to see so many walks of life. Yeah, I thought most would be in the US. Did I think 60% would be US, though? Probably not. That's probably a bit more than I was expecting. But yeah, I mean, look, considering what time it is, like, it's 1:15 in the morning. Like, yeah. Yeah. I think I probably thought there was more in Canada. I've only got 5%. I think it's just Jim on his own. Right, NXT Women's Tag Team Champions, Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. Obviously, the former champs in there wanting to get their titles back. I've got a feeling they're not going to. So this is a championship match, guys. A championship match. Titles are on the line. Kiana James sounds like a P-star name, said Bismo. Elijah said, I like your hat. Thank you, Elijah. Kyle said, Coach Co has officially run out of facts and has moved on to poetry. It's exactly what's happened. In all fairness, there are only so many facts in the world. So we was, going to run out of them eventually. Forearm strike there by Fallon. In comes Kiana. She's unloading on Isla Dawn at the moment. Driving a shoulder into the midsection. Against the ropes goes Fallon. Down goes Isla. Alba Fire down on the outside. Kick out. Fallon grabbing Isla. Fallon going back against the ropes. I think Alba's tagged in. Against the ropes, she trips her over. Grabs the legs of Fallon. Drags Fallon. Spins around. Smacks her. That was nice. Spun around and smacked her in the side of the head. We've got a vehicle arriving. Is this Braun, do you think? Oh. Jensen's arrived. Okay, I thought it might be Braun, but it's not. It's Jensen. Jensen's just pulled up. Kicks coming into the midsection. Heel said, I love this hat. Perhaps I need to sell signed hats. These exact hats, which I have no idea where it came from. I like this hat, actually. This is probably my favorite hat that I've got. I do like this hat, but this one that is a bit tight. It's not got as much give to it as this grey one, so. And I don't think I've ever wore this one yet. So I've got a few hats. on standby in case there's an emergency. In case we have a hat emergency. Backflip in is Kiana. She picks up Albert Fire, hurls her into Isla Dawn. Another backflip. Shoulder tackle going into both women. Matt, shout out to you, buds. Adam said the Fatal 4-Way tonight has got Dragon Lee in his third match. The winner will face Carmelo at Spring Break-In. Just got 200 quid benefit, and my wife Karen has spent it on chocolate cake, says Bill. Oh, God, Bill. Women, eh, mate? Women. Just managed to get a couple of £100 and it's all gone on chocolate cake already. If there's one thing I know about women, they flipping love chocolate. It's like crack cocaine to them. So in many ways, mate, you've got to blame yourself. You should have put that money straight into a safe or a trust fund. You should have put it straight into a trust fund. Kept it well away from your wife. Right, Matt. Vince to purchase the Chivington Gravy Museum. We have spoke about the Chivington Gravy Museum on quite a few occasions. And rename it the Historical Meat Source Containment Facility. Dark days abound. Oh my God. I don't like that at all. I honestly don't mind renaming Gravy Meat Source. I'm actually here for that. But to call it a meat source containment facility, don't like that. Don't like that. It's lost the whole relationship to Chivington. Can't it be the Chivington meat source containment facility? The CMSCF. The CMSCCF. You know the old CMS. Can't even remember the letters. CMSCF. You know that place, yeah? You know that place. The Chivington Meat Source Containment Facility. See you down there. That is Dark Days, Matt. Thank you for giving us that update, bud. See, this is the problem if you're going to fire Vince. If you fire Vince from WWE, he's only going to go and mess up some other organization. So, listen, it's blood on your hands, or gravy on your hands, if he leaves WWE and messes up the Chivington Gravy Museum. Unbelievable. Wrestle with Andy said, Daze Jensen's dad is Bull Buchanan. Is that a true story? Is that actually true? I don't know anything about Jensen. Tony Khan has signed Daze's hat and it's going to debut tomorrow. God, you're not lying. He is. Bull Buchanan is actually his dad. That's mental. I didn't know that. That is cool. That's cool. Days NXT Spring Break-In is 2 weeks tonight on April 25th. Well, let's just hope Grayson Waller doesn't win and isn't there because I want him to be in the draft. Kyle said, no way. Days pays for aircon. No one in the UK has air conditioning. There is no point. No, we don't pay for aircon. We don't have an air conditioning unit. I don't know anyone that's got an air conditioning unit. What I would say, though, is we have had... I keep saying our summers are getting hotter, getting better. I distinctly remember a conversation last summer that we should consider getting one for last summer because it was like so hot, man. It was stifling heat. But no, houses are not built, or certainly haven't been built with them installed. Can you buy them? I mean, like, I don't even know how they work, to be honest. Air conditioning unit. I mean, you can buy them. I don't even know how they work. Do they suck in hot air and spit out cold air? That's kind of the premise. I can't imagine just a freestanding unit's going to do a great deal, is it? In my mind, an air conditioning unit is built into the house. It's got vents all in all the rooms, and it like, do you know what I mean? It's a major feature in a house, not just one little box that stands in the corner of the room. But that's what you can. That's what you can get. You can buy big air conditioning panels that go into rooms, but that's like $1.5 grand apparently. The little boxes that go in the corner of a room, they're like 200 or something, 250. Don't know. It's a world that I've never had to venture in, but honestly, for the first time last summer, I do remember distinctly thinking, "Oh my god! Either I need to get an air conditioning unit, or I need to live in a bath." I've got central AC, said Jojo. Did you know there's 2 DLCs in 2K23, and they're both managers, Valhalla and someone else. Oh, I love someone else. Big fan of someone else. Against the ropes, right? We was at commercial break, but we, guess what, are back now. Oh, lovely bulldog there by Fallon Henley as Isla Dawn goes back into the corner. Fallon Henley collides in. All Isla Dawn does is just get smashed around the ring, man. All I've seen is her just getting battered. She's been shoulder tackled in the corner, face planted down. This girl takes so many bumps. 1, 2, double axe handle there by Albafire. Isla Dawn, man, she bumps around like a super trooper. Super kick there as Kiana James goes down. Isla Dawn in the ring, ducks underneath. Kick to Fallon Henley. Fallon Henley goes down to one knee. Albafire comes over. Alabama slam, maybe? No, reversed into a Canadian destroyer. What's this? It's not Jensen. He's grabbed the bag and he's in the ring and he's giving it. Come on, referee. He gives the bag to Fallon. Look, he's like, look, hit her, use the bag, use the bag. The rest like, what you doing? You're out of there! What are you doing? Fallon's screaming at him. What are you doing? Oh! Pushes Briggs. Oh my god. Oh, it's all breaking apart. Briggs and Jensen. There's trouble in paradise. Oh my god. Oh, Fallon Henley. 1, 2, 3. Look at Briggs. He's got Kiana James in his arms. Brooks Jensen with Kiana James. Briggs is down. Oh, God. Oh, guys, I can't cope with this. It's so upsetting. So upsetting. Brandon's upset. OMG. There's a real split in the tag team of Briggs and Jensen. I love Fallon Henley in the ring going, what are you doing? What are you doing? Here's Noam Dar. Noam Dar has arrived. An elegant savage. There's a lot of fantastic superstars, but there's only one supernova. The Heritage Cup rules match. Two falls to a finish, 6 rounds, 3 minutes rounds, 20 seconds between those rounds. So they're bringing the Heritage Cup and rules to NXT. I'm the longest reigning and only 2-time Heritage Cup winner, says Noam Dar. I like Noam Dar. So he offers something a little bit different. It's time to separate the sheep from the goats. There's levels to this, and I'm the top. Right, coming up next, Duke Hudson MVP trophy presentation. I'm going to do that now. I keep forgetting about it. I want to go onto eBay, and I want to have a look at the Thea Hale Prism, did someone say? Let's have a look. Oh, yeah? Oh, my God. £57. £57 and £20 postage. The flip. 70 quid. For a signed Thea Hale card. Jesus Christ. I mean, that feels a bit steep, doesn't it? Feels a little bit steep. Let's go Prism. Signature. Just wondering what else is available. Oh, Haaland. Oh, wow. You can buy Erling Haaland. Oh, my God, is that a good deal? I feel like that's a good deal. I could buy Erling Haaland, signed card for 650. I mean, he's going to be a monster star, isn't he? He already is. 650 quid for that. Would that go up in value? Is only like 22 or something. Banging the goals in. This is interesting. This is interesting. You can get LA Knight, yeah. You can get Shanky. Come on. Only $9.99 for Shanky. $9.99 for Shanky. Oh, what? £1.82. Oh, it's a bid. For Gunther, £1.82, but there's still 4 days left. I thought that was it. £1.82. You can get Ava Rain. £320 for her autograph. What the? You're tripping, mate. You're tripping. Oh my God, go home. You're drunk. You are drunk. We've all had a drink. Hey, right now, another Erling Haaland here, £520. Shawn Michaels, 343. Roxanne, 400. Oh my God, some of these prices are insane. Why are these so expensive? Must be that they're on like limited edition versions of them or something. Don't know. It's expensive, yeah. Thea Hale for £57. She ain't done loads, has she? Jeez. Know what I mean? Tiffany Stratton, £120. I mean, all of a sudden, the Shanky at $9.99 is looking a hell of a bargain. Gigi Dolan, 4 days left, £30. Bit, John Cena, 4 days left, £80. I just want to buy it now. Ooh, you can buy Undertaker for 300. It's not bad, is it? That's not bad. I saw a Santos Escobar card going for £5, says Thomas. Those prices are in the toilet. Yeah, some of these prices are mental. Jerry the King Lawless, 75. I've just clicked on buy it now, so this is how much you can buy it for. You can get Odyssey Jones for £8. £8. That's cheaper than Shanky. Oh my God, I would have thought Shanky. How much is Scripps? How much is Scripps? That's you got to give the people what they want. Nikita Lyons, £1,000. You're drunk, mate. You're drunk. I mean, what did she sign it with? Her booty. £1,000. You can get the Iron Sheik for £22. The Iron Sheik, former WWE champion, for £22. Nikita Lyons, 1,051. I mean, in all fairness, that's what they're asking. They ain't going to get it. You can get Rey Mysterio for £38. Mental. Spike Dudley? It's actually really interesting. Hogan, 600. Sandman, 67. Oh, God. I haven't looked at these in forever. Reggie. Found Reggie. 1999 for Reggie. Okay, Chase you. There's Thea. Daze, you gotta get a scripts one. I haven't seen a script. I've seen the Reggie one. I haven't seen a scripts one yet. They got Josh Briggs, £97. Right, we've got Andre Chase in there with G. Hudson. Chase you. There we go. MVP G. Hudson gets his intro. There's the trophy. Nice trophy. Oh, man. Top dollar, £58. It's Noam Dar, 29. Noam Dar's on there. Okay, let's see what Duke Hudson's got to say. I don't like award ceremonies. It's not about me. It's about Chase you. It's not about Chase me. It's about Chase you. Said, Andre Chase put the university on my back and I took them to the promised land. What was Dakota wearing last night? She looked beautiful, said Adam. Legit, I can't remember. I just remember it looked like Bailey was going to a rave. Okay, so he thanks Chase. He says to Thea, thank you, I guess. There we go. Crowd cheer. MVP. Love hearing it. There's another word he wants to spell out. Join me. Rise. C H A S E. Oh, Bron Breakker. What's his problem? Thought he had an issue. Oh, look, he's in black. All in black. Yes. Let's go, man. Let's go. Let's see what Bron Breakker. Thea Hale's being held back. Why are you not in the match, Bron? Nello wants me in the match. That championship is nothing but a curse on my career. I don't need the approval of these scumbags anymore. Let's go. I've met Sandman. He's a cool dude. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool looking card. These cards are nice. I know you can't see them. You can if you go on eBay. Just put in Prism, Prizm. Ron wants to shake hands with Duke Hudson. Shake hands. Ron goes to... Oh! Ron spears Andre Chase. Duke Hudson didn't know whether to protect the students or grab his MVP trophy. He grabs his MVP trophy. Now Braun with a Chase U flag. Rips it. Rips the flag. Snaps the flag in half. Chucks it on Andre Chase. Oh dear. Oh dear. They're setting it up for Cora to be with Braun, said Jeremy. That's Gigi. He said, is that the house she grew up in? My mother told us we didn't even deserve to be happy. That looks awful. Gigi said she's human. She wants to be loved just like anyone else. JC Jane broke my heart. That kick, man. That kick. When she put her in the door and she gave her that extra bang. That was vicious. That was vicious. Yeah, that was pretty sweet, man. That was all right. I like Braun getting involved. Don't know how I feel about Duke Hudson, like, doing the whole, do I save them? Do I save my trophy? Especially when the trophy looks as awful as it looks. Maybe if we'd have spent a bit longer kind of making that trophy, like, really prestigious, rather than just mentioning it last week for the very first time. But yeah, whatever, you know. Still pretty fun. How dare he desecrate, great words, the Chase U flag, says Outlaw Angel. I am haunted from Braun. I hate him with passion, said WWE AEW fan. Do you think WWE can afford to go another full year of Roman keeping the title hostage? Ratings are still strong, but for how much longer? Well, I mean, my initial reaction would be yes, because the ratings are fine. And, I mean, creatively, it's going to be a challenge to keep people engaged, but that's the challenge, isn't it? When it comes to creative, coming up with something creative that's going to keep people engaged and entertained and coming back week in, week out, that's exactly what the job is. So, do I think WWE can do it? Well, they did it this past year. So can they do it again? Probably not. But with Triple H in charge, like, of creative, and hopefully some new ideas abound. Yeah, I think there's a chance that they could. It'd be an ask, but as we said, you know, that's you got to be creative, and hopefully they would be able to do it. With pen in hand, I give a laugh as I sign my name on this autograph. A memento for you to keep in your stash. A memory of our encounter that will never be surpassed. Coach Co, very powerful. I don't know if that's Chat GPT or whatever, but it's very powerful all the same. Shout out to you. Daze, they could introduce other members of the family to the bloodline to keep it fresh. Just keep bringing them in. Auntie Ethel, Auntie June, Grandma Joe. Just keep pumping new men. Here's Uncle Barry. He lives down the road. 5 houses down the road on the left. We call him Uncle because, you know, when you've got a friend and you don't really know him, you just call him Uncle. It's Uncle Barry, that is. Newest member of the bloodline. He pops around if ever we've got a problem with our TV reception. He's very good with that. Yeah, just keep pumping a new person in. Let's go for it. Roman Reigns signature, 364. I think these are limited, though. I think all of these are limited because that is out of 25. Undertaker, out of 20, 400 of those. Bron Breakker. I am addicted. It's just Dory Funk Jr. Damn. They got some proper retro names. NXT Anonymous. Right, we're back from commercial break. NXT Anonymous is watching. Is that Tony and Stacks? Tony and Stacks laying into Pretty Deadly. Oh, kidnap. One of Pretty Deadly's been kidnapped. This happened over the weekend. Oh my God, guys, we've had a kidnapping. It's been so long. It's been about a month. Javier Barnell in the ring then. Javier Barnell in the ring. We've had a kidnapping on NXT. You'd think they would have started the show with that information rather than 48 minutes in. Oh, is this that new dude? That DJ guy. Eddie Thorpe. Right, I think we've seen this guy once before. And did someone tell me it's Fredericks from New Japan? I reckon Bailey and Io are going to attack Dakota and blame her for them losing the tag titles, costing Bailey and Io the Raw Women's Championship they have with Belair. So it could happen, said Adam. Where is the excitement in wrestling, said Thomas. Well, someone literally just got kidnapped. So, I mean, if that doesn't get your pulse racing, I'm sorry if you find kidnappings boring. I'm sorry if kidnappings happen all the time where you are and they're all just so blasé. Someone just got kidnapped. Took away against their will. I mean, it could have been done better, in all fairness. But, right, they've just shown that graphic. So, the number one contenders match, Duke Hudson and other people. Dragon Lee, JD Manamana, and Grayson Waller. One of those is going to be the next challenger for Carmelo Hayes. I did like Bron saying, I've realized that title is a curse. It's a weight holding me down. There's Damon Kemp. Damon Kemp watching on in the entranceway as Eddie Thorpe goes to the outside. Do you think Bron will be involved in the drafts? I don't think so. Because I think if he was going to be, I think he would be off TV. And I think they'd be working on, whatever they need to work on. Like, it feels like he's about to start a new story, doesn't it? Feels like he's about to get involved in something. I mean, all fairness, we haven't seen him as a heel, so I'm down for seeing him have a bit of a feud with a heel, as being a heel. So yeah, I got to say, probably not at the moment. Bray Wyatt, you can get his autograph for £145. Expensive. I wonder if I need to take Prism out. Maybe if I just put signature WWE Panini. These are super distracting, by the way. That's a bit better. Undertaker, £179. It's a bit better, isn't it? Better than the 300 odd pound I was seeing. Ginny, $24.99. Jimmy Hart, $39.95. Angle for 80. Hogan for 800. That's not great. It's expensive. Dominic Mysterio, $29.99. Bargain. Bargain. Bushwhacker Butch. Passed away the other day. £72. Bushwhacker Butch. You can have Sanga for 12. Sanga. Right, we're still underway with Eddie Thorpe, or Eddie Orp, as I've put at the bottom, and I ain't changing it. You can get Don Morocco, a Don Morocco card for £24. That's sick. The Rock, Don Morocco. You people are going to see a side of me that you have never seen before. Oh man, this is definitely a different Daze. Inside Cradle, kick out. Bron has lost at Stand and Deliver 2 years in a row, said Adam. Kidnapping videos are great for falling asleep too. They're very relaxing. It's top-notch ASMR. Right, there we go. Eddie Thorpe's picked up the dub. Picked up the win. Can I just say, I've put in Panini, WWE Legend, Signature. It's come back with the likes of Sean, Don Morocco, Road Dogg, and Lash Legend. One of these things is not the same as the other. Lash Legend. Greg the Hammer Valentine for £26. That's sick. Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Right, what we got here? Gallus. Dom Mysterio in the clearance bin. Who's Eddie Orp? Just picked up a big win, mate. You need to start watching NXT. What did I say? Greg the Hammer Valentine's got a great signature, and for $20, it's a steal, man. Right, here's Schism. There's more than enough Gallus to go around. We're not asking, we're telling. Zach Gibson looks like a turtle that's lost his shell. Don't listen to my husband. Horrible man. Doesn't care for anything, says Karen from the Chippy. Karen from the Chippy, shout out to you. Is this Tiffany? I heard you're addicted to chocolate cake. Here's Tiffany Stratton. Okay, I don't think we know who she's facing, do we? Oh, is she facing Sol Ruka? Okay, Tiffany Stratton getting in the ring. Daze is going to start a WWE card collection like people do with Pokemon cards. I could walk around like Logan has, you know, his Pokemon cards in a thing. See, if he was a real wrestling fan, if he was really into wrestling, he wouldn't walk around with a Pokemon card. He'd walk around with a signed Undertaker card or a signed Vince card or something. Imagine if he had a signed Vince card. How much heat he would get for that if you walked around with a signed Vince card there. Hashtag fire Vince. I've already got a wrestling card signature collection. I can get Ivory for $14.56. It's not bad. Michael P.S. Hayes, Molly Holly, Jerry Sags, Gerald Briscoe, Paige. You can get Paige. £97 for Paige. Batista, £2.18, but it's not signed. The Hurricane, signed, £48. Brie Bella, £48. They keep coming up with Lash Legend. Jimmy Hart. Kane. It's gotta be Kane. Brother Love. Oh, that's sick. That's sick. Brother Love. Signed Brother Love cards. £37 for Brother Love. I love you. It's Bruce Pritchard on it. Bruce Pritchard's like Vince's right-hand man behind the scenes. Signed Brother Love card for £37. Come on. Come on. If you went round someone's house and they showed you like their wrestling collection, might have a few figures, might have a few t-shirts, whatever. But if they've got a quirky item like that, you know, if they've got a signed, oh yeah, I do have this actually. Look, it's a signed Brother Love card. You'd be like, I would. Be like, no, man, that's sick. That is sick. Road Dogg, Lex Luger, Jerry the King Lawler, $1 Million Man. Oh, I really like the Brother Love one. Might be getting purchased. Let's see if there's any better prices. What else we got? £29 is the cheapest. Oh no, there's one for 22. There's a few. I think they are doing a Brother Love figure, aren't they? I don't know if you saw that. Mattel are actually going to release a Brother Love figure. I love you, Brother Love, Mattel. There it is. It actually looks really good. I'll show it you for those that don't know. Daze, I saw your reaction to Izzy beating Alex at least 5 times a day, said X Music. I can't remember my reaction, but I was shocked. That's great. Look at the book. That book's awesome. And the jewelry. Look at the jewelry on the hands. The red might be the wrong shade of red, though, to be honest, for the head. Might be the wrong shade of red, but... And the hair doesn't look quite... Like, can you see the picture? It's got a bit of blonde in it. That hair looks too dark. The shade of red doesn't look quite right, and the hair looks a bit too dark. I love you. It's fun, though. It's fun that they're making it. It's one of my earliest memories, you know, Brother Love. I remember getting WrestleMania 5, and WrestleMania 5's got a Brother Love show on it. Scripts. Yes. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. It seems I have your attention. You can't expose me because I'm exposing you. Sick. You can't expose me because I'm exposing you. That's like you can't fire me because I'm retiring. You can't dump me because I'm dumping you. Soloruka. No, baby. Let's go. Script sucks. Acceleration Mind. How dare you? How dare you? Cool to have a figure, but it does look ridiculous. It does look ridiculous. It does look ridiculous. I love you. I wonder if they have a Paul Bearer one. Well, they've done a Paul Bearer figure. I don't know if the... I'll have a look, actually. Paul Bearer Auto. Oh my God. I don't remember. What the hell's that? Oh, they've made it. Oh, they've made it. Okay. I'll show you what I'm looking at. I didn't know. I was like, well, I've never seen this before. Look at this. Look at that. I was like, I don't get what? I don't remember this. And then the other pictures are literally this, where they have made it themselves. So someone's made that and they're now selling it. How much do they want for it? $12. 5 available, guys. Don't all rush at once. And of course, it's coming from the United States. Amazing. Sol Ruka is a sight to behold. Sol Ruka. Right. Tiffany in the corner. Over the top. Sol Ruka coming over. Chopped there by Tiffany. Sol Ruka against the ropes. Against the rope. Stuck underneath. Over the other side. What? Sick, man. She's a gymnast, isn't she? Do you know who can do that? Dana Brooke can do that. And we never see it from Dana Brooke anymore. Where she can, like, do a handstand, but not actually put her hands down. So they go over, but she doesn't actually put her hands on the ground. She just, like, sort of flips over, then lands back on her feet. Dana Brooke used to do that as part of her entrance. Never see her doing it in the ring, but Sol Ruka just did it. Sol Ruka goes in the corner. She's down. I'd buy that, said John. That's nightmare fuel, said the big guy. That's a beauty, said X Music. Stumped there by Tiffany. The only problem is I've now got eBay recommending me hearses. And, like, toy hearses and all this kind of stuff. I don't really want that in my search history, to be honest. Let's go, Sol. Let's go, Sol. Sol going against the ropes. Back elbow by Tiffany. Tiffany coming over, grabbing Sol Ruka, working on the arm. Sol Ruka goes down. 1, 2. Kick out there by Sol Ruka. Tiffany again going after the arm, working on the arm. Crowds applauding away. I don't remember Sol Ruka having those tattoos on her arm. I don't know if she's got them recently. She's got, like, ink all on her arm now. I don't remember seeing that before, but then I can't say I really studied Sol Ruka. Trying to get back up to her feet, and she does in the middle of the ring. Nice hip toss. Chop coming in there by Stratum. Shoulder tackle there by Sol Ruka. Sol Ruka against the ropes. Another shoulder tackle. Kick to the midsection. Grabs Tiffany. Double underhooks. Lovely suplex. Kip up by Sol Ruka. Kick to the midsection there by Tiffany. Working on the... Scooping her up. Got her... Oh, I thought she was going for a tombstone. 1, 2... Shoulder up. We already know Scripps is Reggie and Axiom is A-Kid. What's the point? What if it isn't? Did you think about that? What if it isn't? What if Scripps is Vince McMahon and A-Kid is Linda? Power slam by Sol Ruka. Another kick out. Stratton rolling out of the ring. Trying to regroup Sol Ruka. Oh, gets kicked, gets caught. Tiffany getting back into the ring. I got excited. There was a kiss card, but it turns out it's just digital. An Ember Moon kiss card. They used to do that, you know. Used to do that, kiss cards. Ember Moon, look, kiss card. But apparently it's not, it's just digital. Oh. I don't have any kiss cards. They're a bit pervy for me. you imagine a Big Show kiss cards? Well, kiss cards? Yeah, they don't do those anymore. Tiffany Stratton picks up the win. We need a new Vince figure. JBL. Solo Sokoa. Been so long since I've had a look at autographs. It's a big distraction. Right. Andre Chase, Thea Hale, Duke Hudson. Duke Hudson said, I want to thank you for what you did. You took one for the team. Right, there's Cora Jades. So Duke Hudson said he's going to be the first to bring gold back for Chase U. Booze for Cora Jade. A Vince Kiss card. Oh, KMA card. Yes. I mean, it would be super inappropriate, but could you imagine if you just had a picture of Vince and then they had a bare backside that you could kiss for the Kiss My Ass Club? Like that. I mean, couldn't be more inappropriate if it tried. It's one of those things where if they did it, I mean, you might as well just shut WWE down. Because that's it, isn't it? That is it. That's the end. We've reached the end of WWE. WWE is done. Roman Reigns signed WrestleMania 34 pin. It's interesting. Miko Satomura. Oh, I don't think I've got a Miko one, you know. $24.99 for a signed Miko cards. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Chief J Strongboy, legend. Undertaker. I like the Brother Love. I like the Miko. Alexa Bliss. Doesn't say an exact price, though. Oh, God, honestly, I could spend hours doing that. Hours. They are jobbing, Sol Ruka said, Louise. Kane cards. They have got Kane cards on there. Yeah, they have got Kane. I can't see scripts. I mean, that seems like it. They got a Moss. A Moss. $19.99 for a Moss. Come on. That's cool. They've got Rikishi and Samu, which is really cool because they were the head shrinkers, both on the same card. That's nice. Would be better if it was Fatu and Samu, but same person. Lita, Kelly, Ivy Nile, $115 for Ivy Nile. I like Ivy Nile, but that's crazy price. Sanga, Charlotte, SoCal Val, Road Dogg, MVP, Asuka. Asuka's not bad, 29. That's not bad at all for 29. Not bad at all. No, I'm dar. I want to stop, but I can't. I'm addicted. Who's that? Oh, Amelia McKenzie. She's not with WWE anymore. Amelia McKenzie. She used to be at NXT UK. Kane, Rob Van Dam, Stacks. Oh, I'm going to search scripts. I am going to stop. Because I know it's not very interesting. It is for me. Scripts. No. What about if I just take out signature? Comes back with Reggie. Comes back with Reggie cards. It's not scripts, is it? No. That's it. I'm going to close eBay. Got my full attention. Daze, I just sneezed. Do I need to go to a medical facility? Yes. Why do people think losing a few matches is jobbing nowadays, says Kieran. I think people just want them to start investing in Sol, give her some wins. She was never going to get the win over Tiffany, though. Tiffany's quite high in the women's division. So I didn't expect Sol to get a win here. But at some point, we've got to get going. Let's go. Bailey looked like Man U's green shirt, says Adam. Right, here we are with Creed Brothers and Ivy Nile. Diamond Mine. Diamond Mine is back to us three. What about Roderick Strong? Diamond Mine is back to us three, says Ivy Nile. Dyad continued to get involved in everything. What happened to the Creed brothers in the Shia situation? I don't know what happened there. Oh, hello, Tiffany. Tiffany's here. To the surprise of no one, another victory for the center of the universe. I know Indi Hartwell is scared of me. I beat her twice in about 3 months, said Tiffany. Toodles. Toodles. Generation of Jades. Right, here we go. Let's go. Let's go. Cora Jades. Cora Jades. She's got they've still got like the broken skateboard thing. I don't know if that really does that fit her anymore. She feels like a long way removed from the girl that used to come down with a skateboard now. Vince on Twitter and tell him Q sent me, said Jax. Daze, how come all referees always get knocked down by superstars when they hit them by accident? They could just get to their feet when they really pretend to be hurt. Referees are just feeble. To be a referee, you've got to be one of the weakest humans. Here's Cora. Cora said it's time to start humbling people. Zoe, I'll be honest, the stuff you can do that I can't do. It's not a great promo, is she? Oh. I was trying to figure out what she meant. I put you on the map the second I put that tag team championship on your back. It's like, what do you want about? You put it around the waist? But she means when she walloped her from behind with it. We're all fighting our own demons. GG Dolan. So she's just running through the women. It's funny. My friend pre-ordered AEW 6 months ago. Still waiting, said Justin. AEW what? Cards. Rare Breed said, I love those boots. Jade looks young and old at the same time, said Serge. I think she looks old. I can't remember how old she is, but... She's just going through women. I was just listening, then she's talking about Tiffany Stratton. Honestly, she could be like... I've said it before, she could be like in her 30s with like 2 kids. How old is she? She's like 22 or something, isn't she? Cora Jade. 22? Oh, I shouldn't know that. I shouldn't know that. Boring. Isn't Cora dating Bron? How old's Bron? What's the age difference? I mean, she's, in all fairness, she's 22, so it's fine, but... Bron Breakker is 25. There's 3 years between them. It's alright, isn't it? It's like me dating an 18-year-old. Fine. Right. Someone's coming out, and it is Lyra Valkyria. You can shut up now. Yeah! Thank you. There's someone chanted thank you. What's the reason behind it? There's a dude there that's got a Generation of Jade sign. He's rocking the beanie hat. He's gone for a fluorescent beanie hat. Brave. Real recognizes real. If you want to come back and reach the peak of the mountain on the microphone, then go ahead. I will give you that crown right now. This is a rubbish promo. I ain't giving her no crown. Right, I think I don't know what's happening. I think we're building to a feud between Lyra and Jade. I don't know if Jade... Did Cora Jade's top break then? I know there's a lot of pervs that watch us. There's a lot of perverts that enjoy these streams. There'll be a lot of members of our community that'll be zoomed in there, getting screenshots. They'll be able to tell us if she had a wardrobe malfunction. I don't think anything was shown that shouldn't have been, but as she was out the ring, then she was proper like, "Oh, Mr. Darcy." It's all like that. Trust me, I know when a lady's suffering a wardrobe malfunction. It certainly felt like she was there for a moment. WWE have got to teach their men and women to keep promos short and sweet, said Real. Yeah, I agree, man. My God. There was more waffle there than at Waffle House. Did Vince write that promo, said Killer Shot. Cora's promo when she turned heel was good, but it has been downhill since then, says John. Dang pervs, said Hervey Chevy. Shaquem straight in. No, calm down, guys. No, it's fine. It's fine. It wasn't. There was no wardrobe malfunction. No, it's fine. Okay, we're getting confirmation coming in. It's good that the pervs are identifying themselves in the chat. Would you say you enjoy NXT as much as the main roster? I find the wrestling better on NXT, but I find the matches on the main roster, except for pay-per-views, are very half-assed on Raw SmackDown. I find... No. I can't say that I find NXT a better show than Raw or SmackDown. I think the in-ring can be better. But to be honest, a lot of the times, like, the matches just don't mean anything. The setup for them doesn't mean anything. So, I mean, to chuck two people into a ring and for them to have, like, a great match, I mean, cool, brilliant. But for me, it's a lot more satisfying if there's, like, a good story behind it. And then you have the match, and then the match is... I would actually rather take a 4-star match that's part of a story than a 4.5, 4.75. I mean, if it's going to be 5 stars, then I'll check that out all day long. But like, if it's going to be 4.5, 4.75, but it's just Axiom against Nathan Frazier in a match that I just don't care about. I just don't care. I've got no reason to care. You've given me no reason to care. If they go out there and they have a banger, I'll watch it and I'll enjoy it, but I won't think about it as soon as the show's over. Oh, that's it. I'll be done. I will move on. But if you give me just a 4-star match or even a 3.75, but it's actually, it matters. It means something. It's part of a story. I'll be a lot more, that will stick with me longer and I'll be a lot more engaged in that. So I do find that the stories in NXT aren't that strong. They do a lot of off-site stuff, which I really appreciate. So, like, we go to bars, we go to clubs. Well, not clubs too much, but we certainly go to bars and pubs and offices. We've been to offices. Obviously, we've got Chase U, which is really just a classroom. But we do go to some other off-site locations. And as I said, I like that about NXT. I like mixing it up a little bit. You know, we go backstage. We're in the ring. We've got vignettes and videos and all of that kind of stuff. So the ability, it's weird. The ability to tell stories is there, but we just never commit to anything. I mean, there's nothing like the Bloodline in NXT. They don't seem to be able to be creative enough to do anything like Bray. I mean, we could be having. Why can't we have Funhouse things on NXT or something like the Funhouse with puppets and everything? They ain't got to go anywhere. They're not doing tours or anything. They've got time to film these things. So where's that level of creativity? We don't get anything like as good as Bray. I mean, look, compare Schism to Bray. It's like Wish's version. And then, like, we don't get anything like the Bloodline. Anything like the Bloodline whatsoever. And again, you might say it's unfair. This is, you know, talent that's learning, all that kind of stuff. I get it, but that shouldn't really excuse what we're asking the talent to do, like from a creative point of view. Don't get me wrong, there can be some nice little bits. I mean, Damon Kemp being in Diamond Mine, I thought was all right. And then, like, they split apart. Obviously, you go back to when NXT was goated, and you look at things like Tommaso Ciampa and his story with Johnny Gargano. Like, you know, you go back to Black and Gold NXT. Oh, then we're talking. Then we're talking. Then we're talking. But 2.0, I wasn't a fan of 2.0. And then I would say where we are now is better. I think a lot of people that have watched NXT for a long time would largely agree. Maybe not everyone, but I think a lot of people would largely agree this is... We're nowhere near Black and Gold with the current product. But I enjoy watching it. I mean, look, we got Ilya Dragunov. We had Sol Ruka. I enjoy watching Sol Ruka. I like the Bron Breakker heel turn. I'm a fan of Ilya. So Ilya coming out now, that'll be good. Main event is going to be to try and find a... So, I mean, it's good. It's fine. But is it better than SmackDown? Is it more enjoyable than like the bloodline and all that, you know. I mean, I'm really into the Damage Control story at the moment. I'm really interested in that. What are we doing with Damage Control? So, like, you know, I'll be looking forward to Raw to get another answer on that. Bloodline's been amazing. Bray, there was high hopes for it. Obviously, spluttered a little bit. So, but you're not wrong. The in-ring for NXT can be better, definitely. But I think as an overall product, I wish they would just give me some better, stronger, more deeper, interesting stories, you know? I suppose in a way we've got this little story going on with Briggs and Jensen and Kiana James, and, you know, there's a little something there. It's okay. It's okay. They can do it. It's just, I don't know, don't do it. Wesley is killing it since Stand and Deliver. Right. Dragunov versus Von Wagner. So I think the graphic said that if Wagner loses, then Robert Stone will leave him. In all fairness, we just haven't got anywhere with Von Wagner for a long, long time, have we? So I can't say that it's been working. If he does leave, it might be good for Von Wagner. Dragunov looks like a dollar store knockoff of Seth Rollins. Yeah, I don't know how he'll do on the main roster, but I think he's very passionate. I think that he's very intense. I think he is on the smaller side, but he's got that plucky underdog vibe about him. Like, he digs deep. He is the Gunther killer as well. He is the guy that finally beat Gunther and ended his NXT UK title reign. I mean, he got a ton of credibility from that. So, you know, he could be someone that, I mean, him and Gunther was just such great matches. I mean, they might be the best matches in the history of NXT UK. Him and Gunther. In all fairness, Gunther, Tyler Bate, Gunther, Pete Dunne, Gunther, Dragunov, Gunther, anyone were the best matches in the history of NXT UK. Dragunov, look, trying to deadlift and picking up Von Wagner. Oh my God. Wow. Big suplex. So he managed to pick him up. I wish the commentators were losing their mind over that, because he manages to pick him up like this and they're like, you know, praising him for picking him up. Then all of a sudden he suplexes him. And the commentators are a bit flat. Dragunov. Double underhooks here by Von. Plants Dragunov down. 1, 2. Kick out by Dragunov. Gonna have to go a little bit, you have to do a bit more than that. A corpse has more personality than Von Wagner, said James. Just got an old school VHS Ric Flair, codename Magic 8 Ball. It's an old cartoon movie. Ric Flair, codename Magic 8. I've never heard of it. I mean, I recognize all the words individually. I don't know what it is as a collective. Here's Dragunov. Uppercut. Down goes Von Wagner. 1, 2, 3. Oh my God, that's it. Stone is done, mate. You are done. It is over. Von Wagner has lost. Look, people are waving. Na, 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 na. Hey, hey, hey. Goodbye. It's awkward, isn't it? Na, 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 na. Godfather's Ho, shout out to you. Smoking serious grape tonight. And it's Taco Tuesday. Who did Miss Elizabeth really want to bang? Randy or Hogan? Hogan is the third wheel. Big ones forever. Oh, hello. This is Dijak. Dijak's coming out. So Dijak's coming out. Dragunov in the ring, and Robert. Oh, there's Dijak. Behind Dragunov. Dragunov's like, oh, yeah, you would do that, wouldn't you? Dijak stepping up to Dragunov. I'm going to make you a what? I think he said, I'm going to make you a martyr or something. Right. Got a 3 and 1 more. Woo! Woo! Well, I wanted to see what Robert Stone was going to say there. Instead, we focused on Dijak and Dragunov. Is Gallus. Adios. WWE biggest fan said, did you see Drew McIntyre's tweet? Waving emoji. Does that mean he's leaving WWE? No. I'll add it to the list of social media teases that are more than likely going to mean absolutely diddly. Do you remember when Bailey said bye? Right, Tank Ledger against Joe Coffey. Tank Ledger versus Joe Coffey. Daze, would you be in favor of Gunther face turn, which would lead him to dethrone Norman? 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 Yes. Norman Reigns. Oh my God. Norman names. Oh my God. I don't want to see Norman drop the title. No. No, I wouldn't. Gunther against Norman. I mean, that is WrestleMania main event right there, isn't it? Gunther versus Norman. Nah, I wouldn't turn Gunther face. Maybe I would do it at one point in my life. I've already said, I think there's too many times that people turn face, turn heel, turn face, turn heel. Just do it flipping once in your career, something like that. I really, you know, if Gunther, I think what they've done with Roman was good. So Roman, you know, when he came out of the Shields was a face, they kept him face, and then boom, when they turned him heel, it mattered. It really mattered. And I've kept him heel ever since. So since he left the Shield in 2014, which is coming up to 10 years next year, he's turned once, Roman. He's turned once. So, I mean, if you was going to do something like that with Gunther, give Gunther, like, you know, 8 years of being a heel, then boom, turn him face. I could get down with that, but I don't want to turn him face just because, let's turn him face, have him beat Roman, and then in a year's time, let's turn him heel again. And that's what we did with Big Show. Flip-flopped around, didn't we? No. I don't know who's beating Norman. But I don't think it's going to be Gunther. Jojo said it's another Bloodline member. Reports are Gunther Brock at SummerSlam has been talked about. Ooh. Interesting. Let's go. Norman Smiley Reigns. Norman Smiley Reigns. Yes. Norman Smiley Reigns. Right. We are at commercial break. How long have we got? 25 minutes to go. Days ICC World Test Cricket Championship final at the Oval, June 7th to June 11th, India, Australia, 2 weeks before the Ashes. Cool. I'm all about the Ashes, mate. I love the Ashes. Australia and India can do whatever they want, but yeah, I'm all about the Ashes. Can you say pies off to the hub in an Australian accent? No. Tim said halftime. I think we're well past halftime, but we got 24 minutes and then I think an 8-minute overrun. Poll 630 votes. Yep. We're just getting a good idea as to where people are watching us from. 630 people have voted. And 59% in the US, 25% in the UK, 5% from Canada, 11% from other. So big shout out to other. Right, we've just got adverts for this weekend's shows. Right, there's JD. Do you know where I'm watching from? Hammond, Indiana. Michael said, Daze, Vine will bury Gunther like he wanted to before he retired. I think they shut Vine down, but they used to, I think that's where the pool started. And then when Vine closed, because wasn't Vine just 8-second videos? I think that's what Vine specialized in. Very, very short form content, extra short form content. But it shut down. I don't know why. And then that meant that the Jake Paul and Logan Paul ended up coming to YouTube. And the world lived happily ever after. Paul said, Norman Smiley as a security guard in the back. Was he? I didn't see. He is a trainer, isn't he, for them? So it would make sense. Right. We are underway. Tank Ledger taking on Joe Coffey. Tank Ledger hurling Joe against the ropes. Forearm strike. Tank's ring gear is really distinctive. I really like it. Well, I don't actually. I don't like it, but I do like it. I don't like it, but I like the fact that it's so distinctive. So many bland ring gears. That's not black with like yellow. But I don't think I've ever seen ring gear where you've got like one leg exposed. Like, that's distinctive. I don't think I've ever seen it before. So I think it's really cool how he's got like the tights down the one leg and the other side is like shorts. Backbreaker. Those markings as well, those yellow markings, they look like tire tracks. If they were grey, he could be like the modern day Repo Man. Repo Man. Shot coming in. So I love the fact that it's different. I love the fact it's distinctive, but I just don't actually like how it looks. But let's go. He's got my attention. I went to American Legion Post 100 in Lake Station, Indiana to see AR Dub Pro. It's another N-Dub Indiana wrestling company I have seen besides Backbreaker and Fire Pro. Not heard of them, but hope you had a great time. He's missing half his tights. Says Rare Breeds. Perhaps they're faulty. Perhaps they're faulty and he's just trying to style it out. Make it look like, yeah, I meant to do this. When actually it got trashed in the wash. Shot coming in there by, wow, someone went fly. I don't know if that was spittle or a tooth again. Probably spit. But someone just went shooting off. Coffee down. Ledger going into tank mode. So he did a cartwheel over him and then into a splash. Tank, I haven't seen much of Tank. Rather into him, though. He's got a bit of energy about him. Tank's got Joe Coffey up, and he was looking to slam him down, but no joy. Charges over. Joe Coffey moves out the way. Heavy shot. Heavy shot. As Tank spills out the ring. Joe Coffey going to the outside. Obviously, Joe Coffey with lots of experience, certainly on the indie scene and in NXT UK. Collides into Tank. Tank goes into the ring steps. Wrestle with Andy. Half his tights got repossessed. Repo Man. Imagine if it was a prank, a rib. Someone in the back like took scissors to it. Discus lariat by Joe Coffey. Standing in the ring with his arms folded. My gear has got the back missing, said John. Yes! Woo! Imagine that card. Imagine that card. Oh, man. I would love a John Millard's signed card with him in his wrestling gear. Signature at the bottom. Beautiful. I said at the bottom. Beautiful. Is this Heath Ledger's kids? That's right. Yeah. Heath had a child, called it Tank. 1, 2, 3. Joe Coffey wins. Why are not the Coffey brothers tag team champions? Well, I mean, they all used to be in Gallus, so I don't quite know how that works. I mean, these guys used to be like New Day, where you could just change the people around. Oh, hello. Here's Dyad. Dyad getting in the ring. Creed brothers getting in the ring. Big brawl as we've got Gallus, Creeds, Dyads, referees. Right, here's Stax and Tony. Obviously, they did some good old-fashioned kidnapping earlier. Love to see it. There's Roxanne. Oh, how you doing? She's back. Indi was going to give you the first crack. If you ever need backup. Oh, here's Zoe. Zoe's like, I'm glad you finally got the strength to show your face round here. Understand this. I've got all the strength to beat you next week. She keeps going on about this anxiety thing. Oh. So they're not kidnapped anymore. Or that one's not kidnapped anymore. I think, I mean, I haven't heard anything, but I think that's why. I wonder if that, I feel like that's probably the truth. That she was struggling with being champion and anxiety and the weight of it and the responsibility of it. In all fairness, that's a lot to put on a girl of her age, isn't it? I think people do want to just move too quick with her. I mean, you already seen people going, oh, we need to get her to the main roster. It's like, whoa. Slow down. But I want Cora or Lyra to win. I thought Dyad were released. They asked for their release. I don't know what WWE have said. They might have just said, nah. Can we have our release? Nah. Are they going to ignore the guy in the trunk? No, he's there. He's there. He attacked. The Fire Pro Wrestling I've been talking about did shows in cities like Maryville, Crown Point, Portage, DeMott, Gary, Gary? You got a city called Gary? No, you haven't. Shut up. Gary, Indiana. Oh, God, I've got to search for this now, anyway. Is there a city called Gary? Gary, Indiana. Oh, hang on. If I put that, it's going to come back with people called Gary in it. Oh, my God. Gary is a city in Indiana. It is a city in India. You got a city called Gary? Shut up. You got a city called Gary? Look at this. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. How many people live in Gary? There's 68,000 people in Gary. Lucky Gary. Gary is a city in Lake County, Indiana. The city has been dominated. Oh, come on, man. Come on. How did you get your name? Gary was named after the lawyer Albert Henry Gary, who was the founding chairman of the United States. So hang on. You had someone called Albert Henry Gary, and you could have gone with Albertville, Henryville, Garyville. You could have gone with Albert Henryville, Albert Henry Garytown. But instead, you just went, oh, let's call it Gary. Let's go Gary. We'll just go Gary, shall we? There's the logo. Oh, my God. Look at that logo. That is... It's just a G. That is a G, man. OG. OG and Gary. Look at Gary. Oh, my God. Gary's old. Gary, Indiana was founded in 1906. It's post-World War II. Gary got battered in the World War. Recent history. Gary has closed several of its schools in the last 10 years. Yeah, education's overrated. In May 2021, a $300 million Hard Rock casino opens. What, in Gary? The location includes memorabilia from local natives, the Jackson 5. Huh? Are the Jackson 5 from Gary? No, they're not. Jackson 5 are from Gary in Indiana. Who's Michael Jackson from Gary? Where's Michael Jackson from? He is from... Oh, my God, I can't cope. Oh, my God. Oh, my God, I can't cope with this. Michael Jackson is from Gary in Indiana. I have never heard of this place. I have never heard of a city called Gary. And I sure as flippity-doo-dah had no idea that Michael Jackson was from Gary. Wow. No wonder they closed their schools. If you've had Michael Jackson come out of your city, you ain't beating that. There ain't no kid coming out of Gary that's going to achieve the same things that Michael Jackson achieved. Forget about it. It's no point. What's the point? No one is going to have the impact on the world that Michael Jackson had. Might as well shut your schools. Wow. That is amazing. I genuinely had no idea that Michael Jackson came from a city called Gary. I had no idea there was a city called Gary. Very exciting. I want to learn more about Gary. I want to learn more about Gary. Oh, man. The jokes that you must be able to tell if you go to Gary or live in Gary. Oh, King of Pop. You learn something new every day, said I know. What a journey that was. What a journey. Quite the ride. Right. Grayson versus Duke Hudson versus Dragon Lee versus JD. Boom. Andy, shout out to you, buds. Appreciate the support. WWE are teaching people to kidnap and not get in trouble, said Chill Dudes. Definitely. It's an important life lesson. You need to know what you can get away with. Zoom Station, shout out to you. John said, I would close my schools if MJ was about. Yeah. Right. JD McDonough making his way down. Daze, Vince will bury Gunther like he wanted to before he retired. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much of that is true, to be honest. I don't know how much of that is true. It's very hard to think that Vince wouldn't see opportunity with Gunther because Vince has booked people like Gunther in the past and got stuff out of them. I mean, I feel like, you know, King Kong Bundy, he was a big monster heel and, you know, main evented WrestleMania against Hogan. I mean, it's just hard to look at Gunther and not see money. So, I don't know how much I believe Vince not seeing it. I don't know how much I believe. It's just a hard thing to believe. So, don't need to worry about it anyway, because he wasn't at SmackDown, he wasn't at Raw. Over the top goes Dragon Lee. What about Zoe Stark for the draft? Yeah, she could be. She's been there for a while. She's been in the Rumble as well. Not that matters. Casey Catanzaro's been in the Rumble. Gary has sadly gone downhill. There's videos of abandoned neighborhoods on YouTube that look post-apocalyptic. Oh. Gary's going through hard times. Hard times. Next week, Roxanne Perez takes on Zoe Stark. Dragon Lee with head scissors, and in the corner goes Grayson Waller. Dragon Lee over in the corner, kick to the back of the head by JD. So this is going to have an overrun. So Duke Hudson on the outside. Andre Chase out there with Thea Hale. Here's Grayson Waller hurling Duke in there. Grayson Waller kind of kicked out at Thea. Thea like tries to kick back at him. Grayson trying to suplex Duke, but Duke reverses. And JD and Grayson both get suplex. Now, Carmelo is, I believe, turned face. So I think Carmelo's face. So I'm guessing that means we need a heel. So I don't think it's going to be Duke Hudson. Don't think it's going to be Dragon Lee yet. I don't know. Who do you reckon's going to win this? In fact, what we could do is end the poll. Because I think we've got enough of a read. And let's see what people think. Who wins? Fatal four-way. Who's going to pick up the win here? Do you think it's going to be JD? Do you think it's going to be... See, I feel like Duke Hudson has had quite a bit of spotlight on him. But I just don't know that I can see them doing him against Carmelo at the moment. But I suppose, in a way, it could be a way of turning him heel. He's definitely teasing a heel turn, so... And Grayson had a shot recently, I suppose. Dragon Lee. Feels too early for Dragon Lee. JD's had a shot. JD's had a shot. Grayson's had a shot. Feels too early for Dragon Lee. Everything says Duke Hudson to me. Everything says Duke Hudson, but I don't know. I don't know that they're going to do that. Did you see that Veer Mahan is on his way back to the main roster? I didn't. No. I didn't. Veer. News. Veer is coming again. Watch out, Veer is coming again. Bia says he is coming again. Bia finally appeared on Raw in 2002. No. Bia's rival. Oh. So it's only based on a tweet he sent out. He sent out a tweet that says, "I'm coming, see you soon." That's it. That's it. Bia sent a tweet out saying, "I'm coming, see you soon." And all the news sites, or a few of the news sites, have run with that. It's not known where or when Veer is coming this time. But Triple H did announce that every WWE star is eligible to be drafted. Honestly, that looks like nothing more than another superstar doing another tease on social media. That's what it looks like to me. You forgot to mention Valparaiso, Indiana, and Hickley. Yeah, but I don't care about them. You told me there was a city called Gary. I think that's hilarious. So I'm very much dialed in on that. Has Ava Rain wrestled yet, said Suzanne. She's had one match, and it was a multi-person match, and she looks, as you would expect for someone that's had next to no matches. So she is very, 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 very early on in her journey. Carmen Live 2 said, Aubrey Edwards, that's right. Queen Shamel mentioned Gary in a Hall of Fame speech. I watched that as well. Don't remember it. I was probably just watching it thinking, why is this woman going in the Hall of Fame? All these title matches in NXT setting up for title changes. Prepare for the draft, said Chill Dude. Kick coming in. Another kick there by Dragunov. Get your votes in. We've had 77 votes. 77 votes. Drop kick there by Dragon Lee. Dragon Lee pointing over. Dragon Lee. Was Gigi on the show? We got a little video package, little vignette thing. Lock on a cage with a key hanging from the top. What does that mean? What does that mean? Grayson Waller climbing up. Elbow drop there by Grayson Waller. 1, 2. Kick out by Duke. Kick out by Duke. Michael said, do you think Vince sees Summer in LA Knight because he changed his gimmick from Maximum Male Models and now he's over thoughts? I think that Vince saw Summer in LA Knight before anyway. I don't agree with him being Max Dupree as being like a massively bad thing. I really think a lot of wrestling fans I just don't think they understand. I really don't think they understand. And I think there's a lot of wrestling commentators out there that take the easy route. I think it's very easy to go, Max Dupree, that's stupid. He was better as LA Knight. This is stupid, right? And the thing is, if you say that, you're going to get loads of likes. It's like Fire Vince. It's just like Fire Vince. Easiest thing in the world to go onto Twitter and like moan about something and put hashtag Fire Vince. I know because I've been doing it. It's been great. Been getting loads of likes. And like, it's the easiest thing in the world to do. But it's a lot harder to actually stop and think about, why are they doing it? Why have they done that? What are they trying to achieve? And I don't feel like there's enough people out there that's doing that, that's putting like those points across. I'd like to think that's what we do here. And I've said, like, for me, Max Dupree, I really don't think wrestling fans appreciate how difficult it is to go from NXT to the main roster. If you in NXT, you are constantly going to the same building. You're not on the road. You get to go back to your own beds. You've got your life. You've got your schedule. I mean, it's just it's such a different world from having to travel around the country, having to do media, having to do interviews, having to go around the world. I mean, they're going to Puerto Rico. They come over to the UK. They, put on these massive shows. Biggest show that they'll do in NXT is, 15,000, maybe 20,000. It's the absolute pinnacle. That'll be a couple of times a year. Main roster, WrestleMania, 80-odd thousands. It's just, you can't even begin to explain the difference in scale between NXT and like Raw and SmackDown. So for them to want to bring him in and get him like eased into it, used to it, like just how they do with Tommaso being with The Miz. You ease him in, you put him with someone. And like with Max, they brought him in as Max Dupree, had him do a few promos, teasing that he's going to introduce some new models. And they just, this isn't the gimmick that he's going to have for the rest of his career. This isn't the gimmick that he's going to be forever known as. But it's just, let's bring him in. Let's get the ball rolling. Let's get him comfortable. Do your segments, do your backstage promos, get in front of a live audience, big crowds, and get going. Now, for someone like Max Dupree, you could make the argument, well, he's been in TNA, like he's going to be comfortable with it. WWE don't really care about that. And you're in their system, right? In all fairness, he wasn't in NXT for all that long compared to, say, Gargano, Ciampa, all these other people. So he goes to the main roster. They give him something creative to get his teeth into. If you've watched wrestling, you'll know that, listen, John Cena came up as the prototype, right? It's not what he was known as. Roman Reigns came up as part of the Shield. They were done with they came up at Survivor Series 2012. They were done by mid-2014. So, again, that's, he's spent since mid-2014 being something else. And he was a face, and then he ended up turning heel as well. So, even as a single star, he's changed. So, like, I think they have seen something in 1, 2, Dragon Lee, shoulder up. I think they've seen something in LA Knight, definitely. He's a great promo. Vince knows money when he sees it. I think that he brought him up, made him Max Dupree, get him onto the main roster, get him used to some stuff. Not, see what happens with Maximum Male Models. Does it provide some fun? Do the people have a bit of fun with it, or does it just not land? Truth was, it wasn't really landing. But I think before we could really do much, Vince ended up going. So anything since, July, that has been Triple H. So, Triple H, one of the first things he did was like, right, he doesn't need to be with these. We can separate him. We can pull the trigger now. He had confidence that because, he'd done so much, been in NWA, been in TNA and all of that, like, he doesn't need this. He doesn't need this babysitting that some other people might do. We can go, I know LA Knight, we can go with LA Knight. And so they went with LA Knight. So this idea that, like, I think it's just the idea that Vince tries to bury people or tries to, like, humiliate them and all this kind of stuff. Like, Vince is interested in making money. That's what Vince wants to do. Grayson Waller. Waller wins. So, yeah, the guy's on the main roster. I think they definitely see something in him. Grayson Waller steals the win, and you lot called it. Look, we had just over 100 votes. 33% of you went with Grayson Waller. So it is going to be Waller against Carmelo. That means that Waller's going to be at this show in a few weeks' time, and I don't know what that means for the draft. Alfie, shout out to you, dudes. Shout out to you. My birthplace is in Hammond, Indiana. I currently live in Hammond, Indiana. Other cities I lived in are Gary, Indiana. I love that you've lived in Gary. That's awesome. He's doing a shoey. Shoey for Grayson Waller. Grayson Waller picking up a big win then. I run this house, says Grayson Waller. Spring break-in. Here's Carmelo. Carmelo coming out. So Carmelo against Grayson Waller then. NXT Championship match. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know if either of these are coming up. It's 2 weeks' time. 2 weeks, spring break-in. I wonder when the draft is. Could it be that we see Grayson lose on the Wednesday, get called up on the Friday? I wonder time-wise how that's going to work. How long's left? Just finished. Just finished. Let's see what people thought of it. Scores 8-10, 7-775, 6-675, 575 or below. Draft is May 8th, says Chill Dudes. Oh, that's interesting. So in 2 weeks' time, that'll take us to what, the 26th? So they could lose. So Grayson could lose and then get called up on the 8th. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. The whole drinking from the shoe thing is stupid and disgusting. NXT Battleground is May 28th, says Adam. Who cares about the draft, said John. I care. I care because we haven't really seen NXT people coming up in a while. And I think there's maybe a chance that we could see some come up in that draft. So I think we could see some movement. John said they never stick to the draft, so why bother? Well, the NXT people coming up would be a thing, wouldn't it? Grayson going to the main roster would be a thing, or Zoe Stark, or the Creed brothers, or whoever they're going to do. Duke cares about that trophy more than Chase U, said Chill Dudes. I don't know. It's not even a great trophy, is it? I mean, don't get me wrong, it's better than any trophy I've got. In all fairness. Credit where it's due. Better than any trophy I've got, but even so. 10 out of 10 said Brandon. Brandon really enjoyed it. Triple T said, in a few short weeks from last Friday, which means the draft will be May 1st, said Adam. Well, as long as it's after the end of April, then spring break-in should be coming up before a draft. So if it's any point in May, that's great. TD said, Daze, if you could have the career of any wrestler in history, who would you choose, or what storyline would you like to have experienced? If I could have had the career of any wrestler in history, I would... It's hard to not say Undertaker. See, Stone Cold's career is... I mean, he has a long career, but a lot of it is him battling to get to the top. His time at the top is not all that long, is it? Because he starts making moves in 96, 97 is red hot, and really by, 2001? 2003, I suppose. Trying to think, it's like WrestleMania 19 is his last match, apart from the Kevin Owens one. And that was 03, I believe. So he's making moves in 96. He's there in 97. He's done by 2003. It's not long, is it? It's not long. Not when you compare it to Undertaker, who, as Undertaker, started in 1990. And his last match was WrestleMania 36, which was 2020. So that was 30 years. I mean, that's a 30-year career. I know that a good chunk of that towards the end was just once a year appearance. I understand that. But, yeah, I mean, the thing with The Undertaker is that he is iconic. He's well-respected. He had the streak. He had that mystique as well. He had the entrance. All of his matches like were felt big. Never really did jobbing. Never really. I mean, like maybe there was a few lulls, but not many. It's not like he's had a career like, say, Dolph, where I mean, look at Dolph right now. Undertaker never really suffered anything like that. He was always relevant. He was always near the top. He was always well protected. Long career, well respected, loved by the fans. Plenty of WrestleMania matches and memories. The streak. I mean, the guy had, 22 WrestleMania matches? Maybe, more. So that meant that, just think of all the memories he's got, man. Just think of all the memories he's got. Why has he never written an autobiography? I know he's got his One Man Dead show, but could you imagine if he did a book that just started from the moment he arrived in 1990 and literally just went through? I mean, that would be so good. That's probably what his show is. I don't know. I've never been. I mean, Ric Flair would be fun, but yeah, Ric Flair would be fun. Ric Flair would be fun because, I mean, there's a lot of traveling, different promotions and everything there, isn't there? A lot of iconic matches, lots of great opponents, working in Japan, being in WWE, being in WCW, being around in the different territories. Ric Flair would be pretty goated. 4 Horsemen. And he lived that life as well, Fast cars, women, jets, Rolexes, sharp suits. He's lived it, man. He has lived it. I mean, a bit too hard to the point where he's completely bankrupted himself. But Ric Flair would be a good one. Yeah, Ric Flair or Undertaker, those would be the two. So, good question, TD. Good question. You'll have to let me know who you would choose. Carmen Live said, I would give NXT an 8. Besides Hammond and Gary, I've also lived in Griffith and Highland. I need to take a look at the NXT roster to see who's going to go up in the draft, said Serious Gaming. Adam said Backlash is 5 days after the draft. It's the same time WWE did the draft before Battleground, when Vince said back then all the matches on Premium Live event will not be affected by the draft. I would want Vince's career. Technically, he was a wrestler. That puts him in the conversation. That's true, William. That's true. That's true. Yeah, I mean, no one would have stories as good as Vince. I mean, Vince has seen it all. Seen it all, hasn't he? You want to put your boots in the ring and work back, talk you're ready, but what does Vince think about it? You want to put your boots in ring and work back, talk you're ready, but I don't know what that means, but don't know what that means. Did Grayson win? Grayson win. Ultimo Dragon. I wasn't expecting an Ultimo Dragon mention, but that's fun. Ultimo Dragon. Is the WWE draft going to be 1 night or 2? I would imagine 2. It's normally 2. Right, let's wrap it up. I think we're done. My friends. So 36% of people thought this was 8 to 10, but 44% said this was 7 to 775. 12% said 6 to 675, and 575 or below was 6%. So nearly 80% of people said this was 7 or above. So people really enjoyed this show, to be honest. People really seem to enjoy it. I don't know where I would be, actually. I really don't know. I found myself zoning out at times of this show. It just wasn't grabbing my attention, wasn't holding me. I need to be held on a Tuesday. Don't know. I'd probably be around 675, I think. That's the number that's in my head. I think that it had some decent action. There was, we got to see Ilya, we got to see Sol Ruka. But yeah, I don't know. It just wasn't grabbing me. Don't know. We'll see. It was fine. I was entertained and certainly enjoyed our trip looking into Gary, Indiana. Enjoyed that. I enjoyed looking at the cards on eBay as well. So, we had some fun. And I appreciate the support. And don't forget, we are back again tomorrow. For AEW. And honestly, I've got no idea what they've got lined up. But with their Wembley show on the horizon and plenty of other big shows coming up, they are going to need a big show. And in all fairness, they gave us a big show last week. And they did, 870,000? So it's hard, isn't it? It's hard. I mean, they gave us a lot last Wednesday. And it still wasn't really enough to budget that much. So I don't know what they're going to have planned. For this week, but we'll find out tomorrow, won't we? So thanks a lot for joining us. Appreciate the support as always. And I will see you again next time.